everyone? My name is Mr. Aquaman, and welcome to the KoloCast, a weekly show here hosted by myself and Flashyy over there.
What is going on, Aquaman? I am so ready. Episode 4. We got a banger for you today. Bring it in. Bring him in.
That we most certainly do. Our guest here this evening, afternoon, y'all don't know, this is pre-recorded, is going to be none other than someone with a very unique story and everything about him. I'm just going to get right into it, ladies and gentlemen. It's Curbalicious. Curbo, what's going on? Welcome to the KoloCast. Can we just start off by you telling us a little bit about yourself, and then I will try to dig in a little bit deeper because you truly do have a really cool story, man.
Sure. I go by Curbalicious, and I'm a competitive Mortal Kombat 11 player. I used to compete in MK9, and I just compete in like whatever tournaments that I see, pretty much.
So that was so short, simple, and brief, and it was kind of what I expected, because that is exactly why I brought you on. You just play the games, you show up, you compete, you enter, you are really effing good at them. I speak from experience on that, and you're even coming back, here at the Kolosseum. You are our champion from the one long massive series that we did here for North America, and that was when you kind of also went like a little bit bigger on the map, I feel like, here in Mortal Kombat 11. So you have a lot of history just here. But even when I first started playing 10 years ago, you were one of the top guys in the community, even all the way back then. So for me, it's coming full circle, but you don't do a lot outside of competing, and that's kind of what we might dig into it here a little bit. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I don't know. I kind of had plans on making like a YouTube channel and like uploading every day and doing streams and stuff. The streams, I streamed a lot. There was like moments where I just go on like stream grinds and stuff, but I don't know. Sometimes I get burnt out pretty easily with the streams, and a lot of times, and I feel like personally, like I didn't really spend a lot of time, especially in this game. I didn't really spend a lot of time kind of just playing on my own. That's kind of like where I have the most fun, anyways, just like playing my own and doing my own thing. Kind of like burn myself out a lot, just playing lots of streams all the time, always playing in front of people, and I don't really enjoy I don't really get a chance to enjoy the game on my own, like in my personal space, like without having to talk to people. So I don't know. I had plans to stream, and I did stream for a while. I'm not done streaming. I'll definitely stream like within the near future. But I also had plans on doing a YouTube channel, and the way I wanted to do it was kind of like uploading videos, and it would be kind of like live commentary videos. Like I would commentate over myself as I'm playing, and it would be separate from my streams. So it wouldn't be like people go on my streams and they see the content they see on YouTube. It would be kind of like I have a personalized content for YouTube. Well, I kind of did a couple videos, and they were really difficult, and because it's kind of hard for me to talk while I'm in a match, and I don't know, I want to come up with some sort of high quality content. And I felt like talking during my match would be something cool that a lot of the community would like to see, because I don't think a lot of people, especially like a lot of the top players, even like whatever pro players are out there making content, like they don't commentate over themselves. They don't talk about like what they think in their head. And like I always wanted to make like some sort of educational type of content, but I never really had a great idea that like kicked off very good. I mean, that like me trying to live com during matches was really difficult. So I couldn't really adjust and like keep on doing it because I would lose, and then I wouldn't really be able to talk. And then if I'm focusing more, I'm not talking at all. So like there's nothing to really like talk about like in the videos. So I've just kind of not come across any sort of idea yet that I could use to like make videos, and those are the type of videos I want to make anyways. So I don't really want to upload just videos of me fighting people and then you don't hear nothing. It's just like matches. Because I feel like lots of people do that anyways. You see a bunch of YouTube content creators just uploading their tournament runs, and it's just silent. You just see the game and that's it. So I just want to like have a better idea and like more quality content that like fits me before I like really start the YouTube channel. I just haven't like found anything yet.
To appease that kind of like anxiety that you have around live commentating. So for my channel, I have over like 270 live commentated videos. I put them out every single day. Like you just said, it's like sitting there playing, talking over the match, and I still get those anxieties, man, where it's like what am I going to talk about? How do I fill the void? How do I make this interesting? So you're definitely like right on point with that, and I completely understand where you're coming from. But when it comes to the YouTube, man, I think you just gotta do it, dude. Like just by you put out one video, you see how it does, you see what the comments are, you see how you feel doing it, and then from there you get an idea to do another one, and then another one, and then another one. I kind of think that by not doing it, you're kind of holding yourself back, and it's like, yeah, you're waiting for the right idea to come. But I think the better ideas will hit you while you're actually putting out the content and stuff like that. And over here, I'm the resident YouTube guy, so I was even telling Aquaman, I was like, dude,
Hey,
I went to his YouTube channel and I was like, I don't want to go on a rant and be like, bro, you gotta grind the YouTube because here's something that I can say for you.
Mhm.
So you have this extensive just history and recorded matches through your tournaments that you enter because you enter a lot of tournaments. Dude, you could just rip those from those streams and just talk over it and be like, this is what I was thinking during that. That's a whole series right there of like 6 months worth of videos. So like everything is there. And I feel like if you have the knowledge of like editing and just basic Photoshop, like I think you should do it, man, because one, you're fucking nasty with Cabal, like just in and of itself.
Disgusting.
Like,
Disgusting.
literally gross, and everybody knows it.
Oh.
And you could even take it to the next level. You could go back and get some of your MK9 tournaments that you did, and we'll talk about your MK9 runs. You get some of those and just throwback, just talk about it. Be like, yeah, when we were in this match, so and so happened. Like, there's so much that you can do. Like, don't put yourself in the hole of like, I don't have the right idea yet. Just put the stuff out there and see how you feel. And you might like it. You might do one live commentary and be like, that was actually fun. I want to do more. You might do one of these like inside the mind of Kerbo during one, and you'd be like, dude, that was awesome. I got to sit back, watch one of my matches, and just chop it up. So from my rant here is basically like, don't let the anxieties of I don't have the best idea yet for quality content. Those come with time. Those come, like I said, I've put out 270 live commentary videos. I still think like, oh shit, what am I going to talk about during this video? So again, my long rant, bro, if you just do it, I know you could crush it because I went to your channel. You have 500 subs off of like 7 videos. Like that, you kicked it off already. Like you got the base like that you need. You just got to do it. So I don't want to sit here and tell you how to like do your thing, but you're fucking nasty, and I know people want to know how to get there.
I think that is also a really good point to bring up, is that I also feel like people would just love to see more of you, and even more so to get it inside the mind, because you're right. A lot of top players, they do put out a lot of similar content, which is just watching them mercilessly beat the shit out of people online, and not even like, give the viewer a sense of how they're doing it. It's more so just watch me pistol whip these kids online, and that's it. That's the content, and there's no getting behind the minds and the actual teaching aspect of it, which could be a whole nother rant entirely as to far as how we can help grow the entire community, which we need to do. We need to do that more.
Yeah,
everyone.
I agree.
So there's a separate rant right there for us, Turbo. But yeah, even when Flashy brought up mine, it was something I wish I got into, because I was really similar in that regard. I was just like, man, how do I put out something that's not already out there? And I'm not even good at the game. So for the longest time,
good. You're crazy. You're crazy. You're way better than the average Joe out there, the average demigod.
He's washed,
Whoa.
bro. Aquaman's a washed.
Whoa, yeah, man.
He's
Yeah, man.
washed. He's over
I've
now,
seen him
bro.
anti-air. He's not that washed. He can't
Okay, hold on. Now that is something that I do pride myself on. Old men have reactions to. I have a random question for you, Kerbo. I know this is out of left field, but it just reminded me because we're talking about old people. Do you, because you've been around in this space longer than I have been, but you're a lot younger than I am, do you feel like you're one of the old people in the community, or do you still feel like you're relatively young as a competitor? Because, like I said, you've been around for so long, but you got in a lot earlier than most people did for the time.
I don't really think I'm old. I mean, if you compare me like relative to age, I guess I am older than most of the community.
Okay, so maybe I should have phrased it different. Maybe I should say, do you feel like a veteran in that regard?
Do I feel like a veteran? Yeah, kinda. Yeah, I guess. Yes or no. I do feel like a veteran in a sense because, like, I obviously have experience. I've been playing, I've been competing for a while. Like I know, I know what to look out for. I know what I should be doing. I don't know. I mean, I feel experienced. I for sure feel experienced. Like I definitely feel like if I want to, like, if I really, really, really wanted to win something, like, I could win it. If I really just like put my mind to it and like worked at it, I could. In
Wow.
that regards, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah, yeah. Like it was half a fun question just to see if you consider yourself old like I do. Because man,
Oh no.
it has no, just in that we have been around for an absolutely long time in this community. Since the beginning of it, the Mortal Kombat community has only been around since that time. So to say that you've been there the entire time is pretty interesting. And because most people now weren't around back then and don't even know that. Like you've been around for a really long time, and I feel like a lot of people that came in with MK11 don't know that. So hopefully they'll learn something about you here with that.
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna say to kind of give you like a better answer, probably an answer you want to know. I was gonna say like I don't really feel old compared to a lot of the people out there. I just kind of feel like an older kid, like playing other kids,
Hell
like
yeah.
playing it. You know what I mean? Playing their video games. Like these guys are younger kids, and I'm just like an older kid playing the game. So
Coming in and bullying them, taking their lunch money
yeah,
from
no,
them.
yeah, no, yeah. I
Quite
guess. I
literally
mean,
taking their lunch money.
Literally.
Can I segue that into Curbalicious? What did you spend the massive prize pool from the Kolosseum season 1 on?
I saved some of the money. I mean, I was kind of working along with that, so it's kind of like it just went in with the money that I've been saving, and I spent a decent amount on it, a decent amount of it on my car, the one that I posted on my Twitter. So I spent money on that. I also spent money on a computer. I used the like the keyboard and the mouse and the headset. This is actually the headset from the Coliseum. I don't know if you know, but
Let's go. Let's
yeah.
go.
I used some of the money from what I saved from the Coliseum. I put it towards my PC, and I bought a couple of the PC parts. So yeah, just kind of like went all over the place.
I want to take
That's
this
awesome.
back to the origins of Kerbo because I went digging on YouTube, and of course you were a very prominent player in the MK9 scene. So I want to take it way back, man. What is it that got you into Mortal Kombat, and how did you just find the tournament scene? Because literally, if you type in Curbalicious MK9, there's a video of you from what the hell is it called, like Winter Strike 2000, like 12 or 13 or something like that. You're playing Sonic Fox, but they're known as Crazy Sonic Fox 88. They don't even have the Sonic Fox name yet. Like old school. Like we're taking it way
Was it
back.
wasn't it spelled differently like
Yeah,
FAWX
F A
at the
W
Yeah, it
time?
was
X.
like
Oh.
It was like
Mm,
SAWNIX
Yeah,
SAWNIK.
or
so
NIC, something
way
like that. It was weird. Yeah, it was
way
weird.
back, like OG days. People probably don't even know that exists. What got you first into MK, and then how were you like, yo, I'm nasty at this game. Let me go. Let me start going to tournaments. Where did you kind of find just all the inspiration to start doing all that?
Well, it kind of went further back than like when Mortal Kombat 9 came out. So pretty much when I was a kid, I didn't really have online. So whenever I had a friend that had like Xbox Live and had Halo, like
Oh.
I did whatever I could to try to hang out with them and play Halo. I did whatever I could. And I'd always be playing Halo, and I loved Halo. I loved competitive games, and I thought Halo was like one of the coolest games ever. And it is a goat game. You know, everyone loves Halo, and Halo just kind of inspired me to just want to play games. It kind of wanted me to. It helped me want to like compete, like just be like a really good gamer. And I played Call of Duty in high school. That's when I first got online, like Xbox Online, because I didn't have online. And I remember playing team games, and I was playing lots of Call of Duty, and I played it competitively. I had friends that played it competitively, and we'd always try to like do like we'd watch MLG videos, we'd watch game battle videos, like game battles tournaments and stuff, try to get good. And I didn't have enough teammates that wanted to stick around. Like I only had one teammate that really followed me around on all my teams, and I had like two other teammates that would always be swapping out with like two or three other kids that we knew, and then they always want to quit, disband their team. No one ever really wanted to grind. So it was kind of hard to really get people to want to grind. So eventually I was thinking like, okay, well, I feel like I'm a good gamer. I feel like I could do something good. Um, let me try to find a game that I might like that's maybe like a one player competitive game that I could get into. And I kind of thought about Mortal Kombat. I remember it was like sophomore year. I was sitting in like geometry class and I was thinking about Mortal Kombat and I was like, what's the latest Mortal Kombat game that came out? I don't even know what like the latest game is. So I like looked it up and it was MK versus DC. I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
Wow.
So I looked that up. I went home later that day. I looked up on YouTube, just kind of like researching Mortal Kombat because I didn't know if there was like anything else. I thought there would be something else like around this time, but I didn't know like what there was, and then eventually I came across, and it was so this was like in September because it was right when school started. I found an E3 trailer from June of Mortal Kombat 9 because Mortal Kombat 9 was at
Ooh.
E3 that year. So I'm like, oh shit! I'm like, there's a new Mortal Kombat coming out. I'm like, okay.
Wow.
And I was watching it, and it went back to 2D, which I thought was really cool, and I thought
Hmm.
it was probably better for the game than the like wacky 3D stuff they had because they'd have like broken shit where you'd fly off the map and instantly die. And so I kind of looked into it, and I was like, oh okay, like this game looks good. Let me try to start getting into MKDC. So I bought MKDC. I played it a little bit. It wasn't that great, but I was getting better. And then I came across this one dude named Amen to that shit. Shout out to that guy because I
What was that?
he
What was
was like
that?
the
What
first
was that name
good
again?
more. He was his name is Amen X2X that shit.
Dude,
That's his
internet,
name,
do your
something like
thing and
that.
find this guy for Kerbo,
What a
man.
legend! What a
Yeah, I
legend!
found I found this guy right, and I found him in the chat room, and I played him, and he was mopping me. I'm like, what the fuck? And it was kind of weird because like some people were mopping me before, but they were doing like really short combos, like they didn't do much, and then they didn't really look like they had follow up. Like if I were to analyze those matches from back in the day, I'd notice like they had no meaty setups, like they didn't even do full combos, full optimals. Like some dudes just pressing buttons on me, like beating me. I'm kind of thinking like, well, if I kind of move like this or move like this, I can kind of get around it, and then I would adjust a little bit, I'd do a little bit better. But I play this dude, and he's like hitting me with combos. He's got setups. He's doing media attacks. He's hitting me off the ground. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And he's like mopping me, but he's playing me for like hours. I'm like, okay. So I'm like getting better, getting better, getting better. And I realize he's doing all these like really big combos. And I talked to him for a little bit, and he was talking about how he has a YouTube channel and how he does like combo videos and stuff. I like looked at his YouTube channel, and I watched some of the combo videos, and then he had fights against other good players, and then before I even like looked at any of those fights, he was telling me how yeah, he's like these people are good, blah blah blah. Like these guys are pretty good. He's telling me about like these different clan members because there was like a STG clan back then. There was like the Young Nine clan. The Emperors were around back then. The Emperor clan used to play MK
Oh
versus
yeah.
DC a lot, and then they're around now. I don't know if you guys know about them or not,
Mhm.
but yeah, like they're still around today. And he was telling me about all these clans, and he tells me about Forever King. Back then, his name was King Quiles or King Quiles. That's how he spelled his
Dang,
name.
I didn't. I don't even know this. Wow.
Yeah, and so he told me about him. And he told me about this guy named Young Merc, and told me Young Merc is the absolute best Liu Kang player in MKDC. And he was like, if you want to learn, because that was my main back then was Liu Kang. He's like, if you want to learn Liu Kang, just look up any video of this guy. He's the best by far. And apparently he was like the ninja killer of MKDC. Like he mopped everybody. He never lost. Like he'd always destroy everyone. And Forever King played back then, and I came across Forever King in a chat room one time, and I played him, and he was really good. And he was mopping me. And he was beating me. Some of the matches were closer between him and I than this A-Man guy because I kind of started learning combos by that time. But he would always kind of beat me, and I think eventually, I found Amen in a chat room one day, and I played him again and actually beat him. Like I learned combos, I learned how to do stuff, I learned how to play the game. I ended up beating him, and he like quit on me, and I was like, "You don't want to play for a minute?" And he was, I don't know what he said. I can't remember what he said, but he kind of had like the attitude like, "I'm not trying to be that sweaty right now. Like I'm just trying to do something." So I was like, whatever. But I never really played him after that day. And I played with Forever King a lot. I played with a bunch of the clan member guys, like all the online players that used to play back then. And then I played with them, and they all knew about MK9 coming out, and they would always kind of like proclaim certain things. Like they'd be like, "Yeah, this guy's the best Liu Kang player. This guy's the best Baraka player," and I just always thought it was a cool concept. So Mortal Kombat 9 was coming out, and I was like, okay, like, this game's gonna come out. It looks pretty hot. Everyone knows about it. Everyone seems like they're gonna play it. I'll definitely get into it. And I think at the time I was like, I want to be the best sector player. So I was like going in to like try to be the best
Not the character
sector.
he is known for to date, by the way. But continue.
Yeah, and so I was gonna play sector when he came out. I actually did play a little bit of sector. I played a bunch of characters. Just to like go over them quick. I played like Cabal, Liu Kang, Smoke, Scorpion, Sub Zero, Sector, and Sonya all from day one. So like those were my day ones like to begin with, and then I played a lot. I grinded a lot. I used to play Forever King a lot back then. A bunch of his online buddies, because a lot of the online guys from MKDC, they all pretty much played MK9 online, and some of them were good. Some of them weren't that great. A lot of them quit. A lot of them didn't really like the game too much. But like
That
everyone kind
sounds
of
a lot.
adjusted.
That sounds a lot, kind of similar to almost every time a new NetherRealm game comes out every couple of years, doesn't it?
Oh
Just a little
yeah,
bit.
yeah, 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 yeah. That's true. Yeah. But yeah, I played for a while. I played Forever King a lot. I played a bunch of the clan guys. Like there was like, you know what I mean, like Young Clan, Emperor Clan, STG, everybody. There was at least like at least 5 or 6 different clans back then. It was just crazy. I always be playing someone from like a different clan. It was like pretty decent. And I played a lot. I used to always do pretty good against a lot of people I played against. I used to Forever King used to be like really really good. Like he used to mop everyone back then. He used to like mop for the
He was
longest time.
he was the number one person on the leaderboard when I got into the game on Xbox Live on the 360, and so I knew his name before I ever even knew that a competitive community existed.
Oh wow.
Because when I first started getting in, you're right. You're like, who's the best? How do I be the best? Because the one-on-one aspect of fighting games is such a different appeal when you get into it, and just how complex it is, and how it's really similar to getting into MMA or boxing, just without the actual physical aspect of it. And I know one of the reasons I got into fighting games was because I felt really good if I beat someone else without, it was like a way for me to get rid of my rage from the day without physically hitting something or someone. you know,
Right.
and it just felt really good. But absolutely, Forever King was right there at the beginning stages of MK9. When did you from there? When did you start looking at the offline tours? Because you came into the competitive scene of Mortal Kombat 9, if I remember, really late. And I don't even know this specifically, but how fast did you kind of like rise to doing well in those tournaments as well?
So yeah, so my bad. I kind of like went on like
Oh,
talked
it's
about
all
all
good.
that, but I
No,
just kind of
I
want to
needed
lead
to
it
hear
up.
that, man.
So
Yeah, it
pretty
was
much
wonderful information.
I played a lot of those online guys, and eventually you hear from one person to another like, oh, this guy's good, this guy's good, this guy's good, this guy's good, and then eventually we start hearing like tournament players are playing online, like Pick of the Hut. What's his one friend from Atlanta too? I forget his name. Um,
Oh my
his,
goodness,
he's
it
a
would have
Nightwolf
been
player from
Lord
back
of the
then.
Fly.
Lord of the Fly.
Night,
Yep, yep. Lord
Lord
of
of the
the Fly.
Fly.
Exactly. Yep. And you start to learn these guys, learn who these people are. And one day I see Pick of the Hut. I play him for a while, and I played him in a Sonya Molina matchup, and he's like, and I'm beating him, like I'm mopping him. That matchup's terrible, anyways. I'm mopping him. You know, I'm I'm doing pretty good against him. And he's getting mad at me, telling me how he's not that wouldn't happen offline, blah blah blah. Like you got to go to an offline tournament if you want my respect. I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, Jesus. I'm like, okay. I'm like, oh, whatever. I'm like, there's offlines for this stuff. He's like, yeah, you got to show up to these tournaments, bro. Blah blah blah. Like you might be good, but I won't consider you good unless you show up to the on. Like he just kind of like it just seems like he's
Yep.
salty or something. So then he tells me that, and then I finally look up like Mortal Kombat 9 tournaments, and then at that time when I looked up stuff, I started coming. I came across Power Up, which is like the first tournament ever that MK9 had, and then I seen a bunch of the other tournaments like later that year, and then I think I came across Evo. Evo was like one of the most recent tournaments at the time. Actually, no, 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 I take that back. It was like a tournament or two before Evo. I seen a bunch of players playing and stuff. I
Hmm.
seen Perfect Legend. I seen Rio. I seen all these guys. And I'm like,
Big
okay,
boys.
like yeah, yeah, like the top of the top back in the day. And I seen these guys. I'm like, okay, I can, I could try to watch these guys, just figure out how to beat them. And if I play them in a tournament, I could just, just beat them because I know like what to do against them. So that's pretty much what got me started. And then I started talking to Pick of the Hut. I'm like, yeah, do you get in these things? He's like, yeah, you gotta pay for the flight to go there and register, and you have to do all that. I'm like thinking like, damn, I don't have money. I'm a kid. Like I can't spend money like that. I
How
don't have
young
a
were you at the
job or
time?
anything. Oh, 16. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. I thought you said
Jeez.
my bad, I didn't hear you.
No,
Yeah, I
you're
was
fine.
16. Yeah, I was 16. But eventually he started hosting these online tournaments. So he was like, "Yeah, you should. You're really good. You should play in these online." So we did these onlines. Like I placed pretty well in some of the online tournaments. Like I placed third in this one tournament. I placed like second in this other tournament, and then he had this one tournament. I don't know if this was the tournament that won me like a plane trip to, because like I guess like whoever won the tournament got their flight paid for to get the final round. And I was trying to play in it, and I can't remember if it was this tournament or another tournament he hosted, but I ended up playing Pig of the Hut, I think in grand finals. I ended up beating him. I remember I ended up beating him specifically. Like he was one of the main guys I had to play in that tournament, and I pretty much won it. I won the flight to go to final round, and um, he was talking to my mom, and he was telling me how he doesn't want me to go to final round. If I do end up going to a tournament, it should be something that's like got more money in it. And I wanted to go so bad because I knew everyone was going to be at final round. Everyone was going to go there, and all the top competition are Texas, Midwest, like East Coast, West. I don't know if West Coast showed up. I think West Coast was like one of the few coasts and like areas that like didn't show up. But like pretty much everyone in the East Coast and Midwest was going to be there. Like everyone who was anybody. And I wanted to go so bad, but there was no money in it. So then he talked to my mom for like a while. He had like a long conversation. I straight up gave him my mom's phone number. He was talking to her for a minute, like, listen, your son's good, blah, blah, blah. And I used to tell my mom all the time, yo, I cook in this game. Like, you gotta let me, we gotta go to a tournament or something. We gotta go.
Mom, get me in there. You
Like,
just gotta get me in there, and I will pay for myself. Just gotta believe in me. You gotta believe in the heart of the cards.
I told her too. I'm like, I'm good. I've been practicing. I know what I'm doing, but she doesn't believe me. So this guy's talking to her for like over an hour. Like, hey, listen, it's good. You gotta go to a tournament. Blah blah blah. So like he's talking to her for forever. Like I remember I was waiting because I thought it was just gonna be like a 5 minute conversation, and they were gone for like a minute. And then next thing I know, she comes back downstairs to give me her phone or give me her phone, and he's on the phone, and I'm like, hello? And he's like, hey, what's up, man? Hey, so I talked to your mom. I told her everything. And I don't think it's a good idea that you come to final round because there's no money in here. I'd rather you go to MLG Columbus instead. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I want to go to fucking final round. I don't want to go to MLG Columbus. Like, I want to go to final round. That's where the real major is. And then he's like, no, you should just go here because if you do better at MLG, it's a lot more rewarding. There's a lot less competition probably since
I think
this is going to be super stacked.
Wasn't there $10,000 pop bonuses in MLG back then?
The whole pot, the whole prize pool was
No, it may have
36K.
been bigger. Yeah, it was bigger. Oh my
Because
goodness.
first place
That
got
was
12K.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I talked to my mom for a minute about it. I'm like, well, like, can you even go to MLG Columbus? Because he says he was going to pay for my flight for final round, but he's not going to do that for Columbus. And she's like, as she was talking about like around tax season, she's like, well, since it's near tax time, we're not really doing anything. We haven't been to vacation in a while, so yeah, we'll just go. And here I am, I'm like emo in the car. I'm like, fuck, I'm going to MLG Columbus. Like it's not as stacked. Like there's not as many good players here. And the only thing that like kind of made it hype was like Perfect Legend was going, and he was the Evo champion. And the last tournament he went to before that, he went to Frosty Faustings where he won it. He beat 16-bit and Slips and like the whole Midwest. So like the Midwest were like praising him. We're like, yo, Perfect Legend's good. Like you guys don't know. He's really good. You guys don't. And I watched him, and like I remember watching Perfect Legend. I'm like, kind of like similar to everyone else. I was just like, I know what he's doing. Like I'll just counter it. Like I just stop him. And I remember everyone was kind of getting hyped because they're like, we don't know who's gonna win, Perfect Legend or the whole East Coast. Like what's gonna happen? Like it was kind of hype, and that's kind of like what made it hype for me. But I was still kind of emo going there, like it's not going to be as stacked. Like, I got to do good. Like, I'll look silly if I don't do good. But it was still a pretty stacked tournament. And then I showed up. I practiced a little bit offline, probably not as much as I should have. But I practiced a little bit. I practiced on some big TVs. And then it wasn't that good. I practiced on an Asus monitor maybe like 15 minutes before the first tournament match. And then I went there and I didn't even play on the casual setups. So I went there kind of cold. I didn't really play. And actually, I played a little bit. I played against Crazy Dominican, I think, at one point. I played him in casual. I played him for a long time in casual. and then I played J360 in casuals. I think
Oh,
I
these are
played one
such
other
classic
person.
names.
Yeah, and then I lost my first match to Forever King, and and I pretty much ran it all the way back from losers, and then I got fourth place. And I didn't think personally. I thought in my head like when I got fourth place, I'm like, damn, that's shitty. Like I want to get first place. Like I didn't even want to get fourth. And then I thought I was gonna get dogged by everybody because I didn't get first place because I was trying to get first place, and
Mhm.
then and I just came back, and then like everybody like really respected it. So I was like, okay, like all right. Like I didn't think it was as stacked. I didn't think I was gonna get as much respect because I didn't think it was as stacked this final round. And then it just kind of blew up. Everyone was freaking out about it. And that's just pretty
Wow.
much like
So
yeah. And
it's
then
so crazy how these things
now we're
happen, man.
here.
And yeah, I was literally just gonna say like that one phone call could have potentially like changed the whole trajectory of everything that you do. And now I kind of want to lead this into the next part where you kind of have a gap, right? You grinded MK9, you were crushing it, and then there's kind of a bit of a gap. I think you did a little bit of Injustice 2 here and there, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know about MKX, but of
War of
course
the
now
Gods, baby. I remember Kerbo.
Yep.
I
came in,
remember
yep,
those days.
came in. So
Wait,
you got a little bit
yeah,
of
go.
Injustice 2. No, no, you go. Go ahead. You got to get it
No,
out. What do you got?
I gotta get something out when because a lot of the people behind Kolosseum were the same people behind War of the Gods, and so I think that they remember when Kerbo first signed up for an Injustice 2 tournament. It's the first time I saw Kerbo's name in a bracket since MK9. And so I think I DM'd you Kerbo immediately, and I was like, "Oh my god, what?" I was so excited. I was telling everyone that Curbalicious signed up because it was so cool to see you again after that prolonged period that Flashy's talking about. But Justice 2 is close to my heart, man, because you've been a part of this Coliseum family for a long time, believe it or not.
Yeah,
So yeah,
it
where I was
really has.
going with that was you got the MK9, come in for a little bit in Injustice 2, and now you're completely popping off on MK11. What was it that kind of brought you back into the competitive scene? Was it like you were away from it a while, you kind of missed it? Was it the game you just enjoyed MK11? Was it the character Cabal? Because I was talking to Aquaman before we started. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
so you're telling me he played MK9, crushed it with Cabal, dipped out of the scene, came back when Cabal came back. Do you think
Cabal
it's the
mysteriously
character?
appears again, and then
Yeah,
Curbalicious is
yeah.
winning
So
tournaments. Hold on a
and he's
second.
back. He's back out of the woodwork. So my question is like, what kind of brought you back? Was it the character? Was it just enjoying the games? Like, kind of talk about the process of dipping out of the scene and then being like, nah, I want to go back in.
So pretty much, I wasn't really paying attention to any games or really doing anything. I think the most I actually did get Injustice 2 for Christmas, like the Christmas after it came out. So like probably about like what 6 or 7 months after it came out, something like that. But it comes out in April, so yeah, like about
Yeah.
8 months. So I got it 8 months after it came out. I didn't really play it. I heard about Combo Breaker because it was like the really big tournament that everyone talks about, like how it hosts all these crazy NRS games. And I just had the game Injustice 2. I never played it. I never paid attention to tournaments. I just knew Sonic was like doing really well in it. And then Daddy Dad calls me one day and he's like, another phone call. And he calls me up. He's like, yo, bro. He's like, dude. He's like, Combo Breaker's got like a prize bonus for MK9. Dude, are you going to show up? I'm like, MK9 prize bonus. I'm like, there's probably nobody that's gonna show up. I'm like, it's come on, man. It's like 2018. He's like, dude, you. He's like, dude, you gotta go, man. He's like, you gotta go. I'm gonna be there. I know a bunch of other people that are gonna sign up. You should totally go. And in my head, I'm thinking like, I wanna play in a tournament that's got good players. Like, I'm not trying to go mollywop like 30 players that don't even play the game, and then you know what I mean. Like, it would just kind of be stupid, in my opinion. Like, I just want to do something
Wow.
crazy. So I'm like, oh my god, like he really wants me to go. Like I wonder who's gonna go. And then I see all these people signing up. I see Sonic signing up. Then I seen Sonic was signing up for MK. I was like, well, he was the most recent Evo champion, so I guess that'd mean something. That'd be kind of cool. And then I think Daddy Dab called me up again because I didn't sign up for it yet. And then he was like asking me if I signed up for it. And I was like, yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking about it. Should I? And he was telling me to just go. And then, he'll be there and, he'll hang out with me. So I'm like, well, I don't play Injustice 2 or anything. I'm not going to be able to hang out with all the current players. I don't play that game. I'm just going to be sitting there doing nothing. He's like, you should just go anyways. Just go. Just have a good time. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I told my friends about it. I told at my time my mom, my girlfriend about it, and I was like, "Yo, like this tournament's popping off. Like, what should I do?" I told my brother about it. I told my friend about it. I'm like, "Yo, let's go. Maybe we can. Maybe it'll be a cool trip. And I personally felt like not that many players were gonna sign up. So I was telling my brother and my friend, I'm like, "Yo, I'll train you guys. I'll help you get good, and we'll go to the tournament, and maybe we can all make top 8. We all play enough." So we started playing, I think, in February, and I just pretty much play MK9 every day. And up until the tournament, I played with them. We went offline. I think my one friend went 0-2. He actually had an unfortunate anti-air. He was Kenshi because I told him to play Kenshi because he's broke, and the Sindel player jumped over him.
Sound
And
advice.
when she jumped over him, he did the shoulder charge like in this direction, but because it was in the corner, she like jumped but didn't get over him. So the shoulder charge went like the opposite direction because it was like a weird
Ooh.
hitbox. Yeah, he was kind of he was kind of salty about that. He went 0-2, and then my brother went 2-2. He ended up beating Forever King's girlfriend Infinity, and he beat Foxy Grandpa, and then he lost to
Ooh.
Shujinki Dink, and he lost to Shujinki Dink because he didn't even know the Rune Trap existed or Quan Chi mix-ups.
Oh no.
Yeah, and then he lost to Sunk's Cabal. He just got zoned out. I don't think he had
Wanna
the muscle
know
memory.
I went 0-2 that tournament, and do you wanna know who I ran into in losers round 1? Daddy Dab.
So,
Why
oh
did I
my
fight
god,
Daddy Dab in losers round 1, Kerbo? Tell me. I that's
yeah.
that's
He made
that's
top
not
eight.
fair. And he made top 8.
Yeah, he
That's
made top eight.
I had no chance.
Oh
I
man.
had no chance, but uh dude, that is incredible that after that long, something like that, and for it to again come down to a phone call that could have made or make or break kind of both of your times in this competitive space is actually really incredible, and something I did not know that it was down to something like that, versus just loving the character or just um loving the game. And I know that in Injustice 1 there were some similarities between Cabal and Blue Beetle that you liked as well, character select. Um but it's just wonderful seeing you play again, man. And your name and Cabal and Mortal Kombat is just iconic when you're in this competitive space. So it's been wonderful to see you grow and continue to stick around. And we hope that you stick around, create some more content, hopefully, and teach these kids how to play some Mortal Kombat, man. Flashy, it looked like you had it was
No,
it
I
was
was
hitting
just
something for
pointing.
you.
I was like, dude, by the time like this comes out and we move forward, I want to see some Curbalicious YouTube videos. I want to see some Cabal guides. I want to see some breakdowns. I want to see that. But real quick, so the whole like MK9 Injustice thing happens. When did you just see MK11 and you're like, that game looks awesome. I want to get back into it. What was the comeback into just going super hard with MK11? How did that come about?
Well, I Cabal was my favorite character to play in MK9. Like he was like in terms of like fun and like execution, he was my favorite. And so I seen that he was coming back for MK11, and my friend, 'cause I didn't do good in Injustice 2 because I played it so late in the game. He was telling me, he was like, "Yo, MK, the new Mortal Kombat's coming out," and it was the same guy that I told you went to Combo Breaker with me. He was like, "The new one's coming out. Um, you already know like you could do work. Uh, you could easily get a YouTube channel, easily get yourself kind of like in the mainstream again. Just play it." I'm like, "Yeah, you're probably right," because I felt like that about MKX and Injustice One. I was like, "Damn, like I didn't play these games. I could have just played them through and like probably bodied people if I just played it."
Wow.
So I started playing MK11 when it came out, and I just kind of stuck with it. I got better at it. So yeah, it's pretty much like
And
how
now
I
with
got
the
it.
difference of offlines and onlines, which one do you prefer? Because you kind of experience a lot of both. Do you like going offline and experiencing that, or you like sitting in the comfort of your own home and just popping off?
No, I like offline's way better. Offline's are
Yeah,
it's better because you
yeah.
play the game at like a pure level. You playing it like what it's supposed to be played at, and yeah, it's and nothing beats like people popping off too. Like just the
Oh
atmosphere of
yeah.
tournaments. Like
The
uh,
energy.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Everyone enjoys the hype. Everyone enjoys the entertainment. So it's like you're all there enjoying it, and it's like it's a lot different. It's like really different, even
Mhm.
just watching a stream compared to just being there. Because being there is it's something different. It's crazy.
Well, I know on behalf of someone that runs online tournaments, thank you for playing in them during, a couple of years where we just didn't have offline events. And speaking of Mortal Kombat 9, you and competing in online events, when this airs, a couple of weeks from when it airs, let's see, our Mortal Kombat 9 tournament on the current Kolosseum event is going to be on 9/19. It is going to be, because I don't know months off the top of my head, it's going to be September 19th.
Oh my god.
I honestly don't. September 19th. And Curbalicious, it hasn't been announced yet, but you are going to be one of those competitors in MK9. Hopefully it's announced on Twitter by then, but if you guys are hearing this within the couple of weeks that it is on YouTube, on Spotify, this kid right here will be competing in MK9 online in something that is in a real good competitive atmosphere as best as we can get, showing off some new technology, and can't wait to see you compete, even to this day, Curbo, and glad to have you here on the Kolosseum. Whatever we've been doing, you've been a part of, and it's been a blast having you here on the KoloCast. I think that we're going to be wrapping up this episode right about there. So, Curbalicious, I want to thank you for coming on, and I want to give you the floor for any kind of final thoughts you have on anything that we talked about here today, anything extra that you want to talk about as well. Get it off your chest. The floor I'm going to give to you, man.
I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't really have anything. Shout outs to you guys for having me on here. Shout outs to all my friends that encouraged me to get back into the game, or just get out to compete. Shout outs to Big of the Hut for helping me. I always kind of forget low key that he helped me out kind of get into the scene. So yeah, shout outs to that guy.
He helped a lot of people. So shout outs to Pig.
Curbo.
Anything else?
You got it. The YouTube channel, man.
Know.
Get that YouTube channel running, bro. Come on, get these YouTube videos out, man. Don't let us tell you what to do with your life.
I definitely will.
Pop off on YouTube.
We want to see more of you.
I definitely agree with you guys. Like the fact that I should just do it. I don't necessarily get anxiety from it. It's just more so like I want to create something that I would like.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to give something to the fans like just like little matches here and there. It's like I want to do content that I like to do, So but I'll definitely start it. Like I definitely got to get it started for sure.
That's honestly the perfect note to end on, Curbo, because piggybacking off of the previous episode that we had with Destroyer, the main thing that we talked about was simply, the best way to do something we've found in a space like this is enjoying it. It's really hard to force yourself to do something that you're simply not enjoying. And so in that regard, it is good to see you trying to take that path. And I hope that you do find something that you do enjoy. And just speaking from experience, we certainly enjoy watching you. Thanks for coming on, Curbo. That's going to be it for this episode of the KoloCast. Thank you guys so much. Follow us on YouTube, or seriously, subscribe to us on YouTube. Hit that notification bell. And also on Spotify. You guys can follow us on Twitter. Our ats are below. Give us a follow there. And we'll see you guys on the next episode here of the KoloCast. Thanks for watching.
Peace.
Thank you for having me. Bye-bye, guys.